What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that might be new to the channel, my name is Angie Patricio. I'm an industrial and organizational psychologist, and today we're going to be looking at how you as a team lead can motivate your team members. So without further ado, let's get into it. Teamwork is at the center of any great organization. As Steve Jobs rightly said it, great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. A great team can inspire you as a collective as well as an individual. Where great ideas are conceived and employee experience is at its prime. However, a poor team can also really break you down, just like a fish in a toxic pond, affecting your mental health and well-being. But in order for us to understand what motivates a team, we needed to first understand what is that secret sauce that makes a perfect team. And of course, trusty old Google did not disappoint, because back in 2012, Google was actually trying to answer this exact same question. And so Project Aristotle was born. Wow! To uncover if the whole was actually greater than the sum of its parts. It was the project of all projects. 2 years, 180 teams, and 37,000 employees later, to unveil just one key question. What makes teams effective at Google? And the results were unexpected. Now, before we delve into what makes a team effective, it's even more interesting what Google didn't find out.
Huh? Oh no!
The location of teammates was not connected to the effectiveness of how the team performed. This means that whether the team was working from home, working from the office, or working from the North Pole, it did not affect the team effectiveness as a whole. Consensus-driven decision-making from the team lead to the team members did not significantly impact on how effective the team was. This means that not all team members' agreement on decisions is necessary for a team to be effective. Whether team members were extroverted or introverted, this again did not impact on the effectiveness of the team. So whether you gain energy from being around a large group of people or prefer to be alone after a long day to re-energize your battery, this would not impact on the effectiveness of the team. Another factor that was not significant was the individual performance by each of the team members. So whether a team member was a poor performer or a strong performer, this did not impact on the team's effectiveness. And lastly, the workload of the team size, tenure, and seniority were also not factors that significantly impacted on the team's effectiveness as a whole. However, it is important to note that while these factors were not significant in the Google study, it is a possibility that this may differ in other organizations due to confounding factors such as the culture of that organization. So what can we learn from Google in creating an effective team as a team leader? Researchers found that creating effective performing teams was less about who was on the team and more about how the team was working together. One of the most important factors that Google found in creating effective teams was psychological safety. Psychological safety is the concept that team members feel safe to take risks and be vulnerable in front of each other. Psychological safety is ultimately the belief that you won't be punished or made fun of if you make a mistake, ask a question, or propose a new idea. The second factor that Google found that creates effectiveness in teams is dependability. Are team members reliable in completing their work on time with the right quality of work? The third factor in creating an effective team is centered around structure and clarity. Are your team members clear on their roles or job expectations, how to fulfill their role, and the consequences of their performance on the team? The next factor that Google found in creating effective teams is a sense of meaning in the work itself. Do your team members have a sense of purpose in the type of work that they are performing? As a team lead, are you helping your team members find meaning in their work and the importance of what they do? Lastly, Google found that teams were a lot more effective where team members felt that they were actually having an impact or making a difference. As a result of the team's work, can they see how they are contributing towards the organizational goal? So if you are a team leader within an organization, what are my top team tips that I can give you in improving on your team's motivation? My first top team work tip is to document the team's structure where it is easily accessible and ensure you have clearly defined the team's RACI diagram in clarifying tasks. You can do this by clearly identifying who is responsible for performing a task, who is accountable to see that the task is complete, who should be consulted with in completing the task, and who needs to be kept informed on the task progress. It is important to take note that the same person who is responsible for a task cannot also be accountable. My second top team work tip is to communicate to your team on a weekly basis on how their day-to-day activities or roles contribute towards achieving the organizational strategy. This can be done in your daily or weekly team meetings with one slide. By communicating this one slide weekly, it'll reinforce messaging to the team in a memorable manner, as key messages should be communicated at least 6 to 8 times to be effective, as well as aligning the team around a greater purpose. My last top team work tip for motivating your team members is to encourage team members to speak up by hosting a retrospective meeting on a weekly or fortnightly basis. In a retrospective meeting, you can encourage your team members to speak up about what the team is doing well, but also areas where they feel that they can improve. This ultimately places the responsibility onto the team to improve rather than being told by the team lead. Thanks guys for watching my channel, and as always, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time.